Welcome, everyone. Would you please rise for the invocation and stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Heavenly Father, we are thankful for the opportunity to serve the people of our city. Help us to act with character and conviction. Help us to listen with understanding and goodwill. Give us a spirit of service. Let our discussions be wholesome, and may our spirits be lifted because of the friendships we share. We pray for neighborhood spirit and are always mindful that generosity, peace, and trust will give rise to a strong community. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, welcome, everyone. I'm calling to order the City of Lee Summit regular session as amended, number 31. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Hodges.
Here.
Councilmember DeMauro.
Here.
Councilmember Felker. Here. Councilmember Lovell.
Here.
Councilmember Edson.
Here.
Councilmember Pryor. Councilmember Shields.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Here.
Mayor Baird.
Here. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. I have a motion to adopt the agenda by Councilmember DeMauro, seconded by Councilmember Hodges. Discussion?
Mayor Baird, if I may, I forgot to remind you, item 7A does not need to be second read tonight. That if we could have that matter continued to a separate meeting.
Okay. Do I need to, since I've already called Mr. Head, do I need to have somebody amend it? Or can I just make that adjustment?
I think actually when you get to that item, just table that to a date certain in the future would be the easiest way to handle it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please cast your vote. All votes are in. Please record the vote. Passes 8-0. Thank you. Next is the approval of the consent agenda. I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda by Councilmember Hodges, seconded by Councilmember Shields. Discussion? Seeing none, please cast your vote. All votes are in. Please record the vote. And it passes 8-0. Thank you. Next is Council Roundtable. Councilmember Shields.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to remind everyone that the Emerald Isle Parade will be this Saturday, downtown Lee Summit at noon.
Thank you. You took that off of my plate because Councilmember Pryor wanted to make sure that we talked about it. Thank you. Councilmember Edson.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to thank a neighbor of mine, Ryan Filia, and some of the other neighbors and friends of his, because they got tired of seeing all the trash on 470 and went out and picked up trash for a couple hours over the weekend. And so they're going to start making this a regular activity, and I just appreciate it greatly. Thank you.
Tell them I do too. Thank you. Other council roundtable, general interest. Did anybody go to the Taste of Lee Summit? Was that fun? Was? Good. I missed it this year.
I did go. It was good. Great showing. It was probably the best live auction I've seen at the last 5 to 10 years.
What did you buy?
I did not buy a thing,
okay.
actually. I did give a little money for something, but I didn't. It was really good. They did a good job.
Excellent.
Yeah, thrilled. Good event.
Thank you. Okay, that'll take us to public hearings then. Let's get on with the business. I'm going to close the regular session and open the public hearing in the matter of agenda item 4A, preliminary development plan, Heartland Market, 900 Northeast Colburn Road, Great American Dream 4 LLC is the applicant. Would all those wishing to speak to this matter please rise and be sworn in by the city clerk? All right, does the applicant have a presentation?
Good evening. Dustin Burton with RIC. I'm located at 400 East 17th Street, Kansas City, Missouri, representing the Great American Dream for this preliminary development plan application. And I've just got a pretty light presentation for this. Let me see if I can get this over. There we go. So I'll just give a real brief overview of the project and then stand for any questions there might be. So, this is really just one lot in an overall development. I think you'll hear a little more about that overall development after this, but this is just a single lot. And what this is located is off of Colburn Road in Rice, right next to the Mid-Continental Public Library, just to the west of that. I kind of show that there in the little green square there. And this is located on lot one of that kind of overall development. So kind of there, just to give a little more context. And what we are hoping to get built is a new C-store. So it's about a 6,000 square foot C-store. We've got about eight pumps out there, standard C-store. The pump's kind of out face kind of the south end, and then this will have kind of a small food service as well. So we are hoping for a drive-through on the north side of it. Just to give you some real quick site features. So this is, again, it's part of an overall development. So with that, there's some roadway improvements with that. So you've got kind of that east road that's coming up. That's going to be right next to the Mid-Continental Library, just to give some context. So that's coming up, and that's where kind of our first access point will be. That access point is just a right in, right out. And then kind of coming around to the north there, that's another public road that will be built as kind of a part of the overall development. And that's where really the primary access is going to be. And it's labeled an Eichard Road here. I'm not sure if those street names are going to stick or not. But beyond that, I think it's fairly self-explanatory. I think I touched on, honestly, all the site civil items. The architect is online. If any questions on the architecture side, I'll flash to that here. Craig, can you hear us okay? Craig, are you there?
Looks like he unmuted, and maybe he's coming in on video in a second. Mr. Lubert, you want to turn your video on and present? Okay, well, Mr. Burton, just go ahead and he can try to either log back in or.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm unfortunately just this poor civil engineer, so I'm not real qualified to talk architecture, but we'd have these elevations shown on there. It meets all the city standards. I can say that much at least, but I think beyond that, that's more Craig's domain. So maybe you can weigh in if there's any questions.
Okay.
But that's really all I've got. So any questions you guys have, I'm happy to answer them.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to get staff's presentation. Johnson.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, Joshua Johnson, Director of Development Services. Start by entering staff's list of exhibits 1 through 18 into the record.
Please enter 1 through 18 into the record.
I'm happy to report that at Planning Commission, there's no testimony in opposition to this project. The Planning Commission did have some discussion and questions about the zoning allowances associated with the project and the requirement of a median on Lucky Drive there to restrict traffic into right in, right out. Again, like I said, they did recommend approval to the City Council unanimously. I'll briefly go through the project. Property's already zoned commercial. You can see some surrounding uses there. There's some storage units there to the west and the new library there to the east. Site plan, Lucky Drive is this north-south road, and then this is called Eichard Drive on the site plan, and I believe the median that the TIA is requiring is right here in case that comes up. applicant briefly went over elevations. You can see the drive-through signage there and the window integrated into the building that they mentioned. The comprehensive plan also designates this site as commercial. So in our future planning concept there, it's already kind of taken into account. Conditions here are pretty basic, just with site plan and elevations as submitted by the applicant. And then compliance with the traffic impact analysis provided by the city. With that, I'm ready to turn it over for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for staff or applicant? Councilmember DeMorro.
Mr. Johnson, I just real briefly, I didn't see anything mentioned about stormwater or stormwater abatement.
Sure. So probably best to get a summary of that from the applicant's civil engineer.
Okay.
So stormwater is going to be handled with the overall development. So I believe there is a stormwater detention and potentially water quality that's going to happen at the north side, kind of just north of Lucky Road where kind of that roundabout is. So it's going to be handled kind of with the overall kind of a global study.
Just part of the development. And then since you're up there, your drive-through, what are you going to offer through the drive-through? Is that going to just coffee and stuff like that, or?
I believe there's the, yeah, go ahead. Jack can speak to that a little better.
I'm Jack Hopkins with Great American Dream 4 LLC, 309 Johnston Drive, Raymore, Missouri. Anything basically in the store be able to offer through the drive-through window.
Okay.
Food, beverages, cigarettes, whatever.
Pull up and tell them what you want and
Right,
have money.
right,
Yep.
right. We do about 12 to 15% of our business through the drive-throughs we currently have.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. The questions? Okay, is there anyone that wishes to speak in favor or in opposition to the application? Please come forward.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Kurt Peterson here on behalf of actually Mike Atchison, a well-known face in the community, and my address is 900 West 48th Place, Kansas City, Missouri. And the reason that's relevant at all to the Heartland Market project here is that Mr. Atchison actually owns much of the land to the north and to the east and the northeast that makes up really a master development in that side of the intersection. And probably in April, we're working with staff right now, you'll have before you in kind of due course a master project to review, as well as some public incentives strictly for, there's a lot of public infrastructure there to extend to the north. And again, I don't want to get, I mean, you can make me get the cart before the horse here, but I will just say that is all being worked up with staff right now. And again, we're targeting probably in April. And then you're like, well, why are you saying this right now? Well, because the city is very deliberate in terms of how, whether it was Planning Commission making some comments on what's going on in the big picture, or you all perhaps could be having those questions now. So Mr. Atchison and I decided I would take 60 seconds and at least say we're here, we're working with Heartland Market. We are here in support of that application tonight. But we wanted to be really clear on this point, because especially when there's public incentives involved, which is not tonight, but coming before you real soon, we want to make sure there's never a piece of a project that is moving forward before you even come forward with the incentives. So the explanation there is this. If Mr. Atchison never moves forward with a master development, he will, of course, but if he never did, this is a discrete standalone project, 100%. What's being proposed here, on the drives, how you get in, everything about it. There's one detail about the stormwater, but set that aside for the moment. In general, this is absolutely a standalone project. However, I'm telling you that this will be a piece, in terms of what's presented to you, of the solution of public infrastructure without getting into the weeds. When incentives are produced, this will produce some incentives, but they'll all be plowed back into the master public infrastructure for the whole site. So with that, you may have questions now, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have now. And of course, like I said, hopefully in about a month, we'll be back with all the details and go through the deliberate process.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody else speaking? Okay. Then we're going to go to any additional questions from the council. Does the applicant care to make any further comment? Burton or Mr. Hopkins?
I don't really have any further comments. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my ability, though.
All right, thank you, sir. Hearing no further testimony, I'm closing the public hearing and reopening the regular session. Is there any council discussion on this application? Very good. Hearing no further questions or comments, Councilmember Edson, would you please read Bill number 23-050?
Thank you, Mayor. I move to advance to second reading Bill number 23-050, an ordinance approving a preliminary development plan on land located at 900 Northeast Colburn Road in District CP2, all in accordance with the provisions of Unified Development Ordinance, Chapter 33 of the Code of Ordinances for the City of Lee Summit, Missouri.
Thank you. Motion to move to second reading, Bill number 23-050 by Councilmember Edson, seconded by Councilmember DeMoro. Discussion? Seeing none, please cast your vote. All votes are in. Please record the vote. Passes 8-0. Thank you all. Continuing on, moving on to agenda item 4B, I'm going to close the regular session and open the public hearing in the matter of amended and restated Chapter 100 plan for the Town Center Industrial Project, Independent Safety Storage North 2 LLC is the applicant. Would all those wishing to speak to this matter please rise and be sworn in by the city clerk? Staff's going first.
Good evening, David Bushak, Chief Counsel of Economic Development and Planning. I think for this presentation, we'll have the developer speak first, and then I'll provide my comments afterwards.
Sounds good. Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, Mayor. Kurt Peterson here on behalf of the applicant. It wasn't that long ago. We were here, had a public hearing right at the end of the year, December, I think it was, for this 250,000 square foot industrial building, just kind of southeast of the airport. And we, the city approved a Chapter 100 package that helped draw tenants through abatement and some sales tax exemption and some public improvement assessment to help with a big public water line that had to be put in. So there's your 30-second recap of where we've been. So the only reason, it's very discreet, the only reason I'm here tonight is because the budget numbers that were used in that process started when we kicked off the project in the summer. We just continued with those numbers all the way through approval. And then it came time to actually get a loan and build a project. And as you've heard 100 times over with everyone, by the time we went from July numbers to January is when they went out for pricing, it was extraordinarily more expensive. And then also, full disclosure, this happens, there were some scopes that were left out in the original bid that they had received. So by the time you mash those together, we did not have the statutory coverage that we needed with the maximum amount of bonds. So tonight, what's before you is just an increase, an amendment that increases the maximum amount of bonds so that we can make sure, again, we're in compliance with the statute by covering our entire expenditures for the project with bond proceeds. So as you know, and I know Mr. Bushek will remind you, this has nothing to do with city finances, nothing to do with city budgeting or anything like that. This is merely so that we can stay in compliance with the statute and deliver the project that we presented to you at the end of the year.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bushek.
My comments will be very brief. I'm basically confirming what you just heard. This project was heard by the City Council at a public hearing at the conceptual presentation initially in October of last year, and then the public hearing occurred on December 6th. And I can tell you that everything about the project that you heard back in December is identical except for what he just indicated, which is the total project costs. The original estimated project cost was $17.8 million, and now the total amount is $24.5 million. So the only thing that's different from your previous public hearing is just the total project costs. The other thing that I will mention is the analysis that we previously reviewed, both at the conceptual and then at the public hearing, is essentially the same. So the percentage of benefit to the company essentially scales up with the project costs, meaning project costs are higher. The county will presumably value the project, value the property, the finished product at a higher amount. The total amount of sales tax exemption the benefit will scale upward because of the higher cost of materials. So everything scales up according to the numbers you previously heard. So with that, I will conclude my comments and be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, questions for staff or applicant? All right, seeing none. Did you have any exhibits, sir?
Yes, thank you. I would like to enter into the record exhibits 1 through 6 that are in your meeting packet.
Please enter into the record 1 through 6. Thank you. Is there anyone that wishes to speak in favor or in opposition to the application? Please come forward. Are there any additional questions from the council? The applicant care to make any further comment?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Hearing no further testimony, I'm closing the public hearing and reopening the regular session. Is there any council discussion? Seeing no questions or discussion, Councilmember DeMoro, would you please read Bill number 23-051?
Thank you, Mayor. I move to advance to second reading Bill number 23-051, an ordinance approving an amended and restated plan for industrial development and authorizing the city of Lee Summit, Missouri to issue taxable industrial development revenue bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $24,500,000 in connection with the Town Center Industrial Project and authorizing certain documents and actions in connection therewith.
Thank you. We have a motion to move to second reading Bill number 23-051 by Councilmember DeMoro, seconded by Councilmember Hodges. Discussion? Seeing none, please cast your vote. All votes are in. Please record the vote. Passes 8-0. Thank you. That takes us to public comments.
Mayor, I've not received any public comments.
Very good. Thank you. And then that takes us to proposed ordinance's first reading. Councilmember Hodges, would you please read Bill number 23-052?
I move to advance to second reading Bill number 23-052, an ordinance vacating a certain sanitary sewer easement located at 1010 Northwest Pryor Road in the city of Lee Summit, Missouri.
Thank you. We have a motion to move to second reading Bill number 23-052 by Councilmember Hodges, seconded by Councilmember DeMoro. Discussion? Seeing none, please cast your vote. All votes are in. Please record the vote. Passes 8-0. Thank you. Councilmember Felker, would you please read Bill number 23-053?
Mayor, I'd like to move and advance to second reading Bill number 23-053, an ordinance accepting the state and local cybersecurity grant program award in the amount of $35,272.80 from the Missouri Department of Public Safety, Office of Homeland Security for the review and development of necessary policies and training plans for the city of Lee Summit, Missouri.
Thank you. We have a motion to move to second reading Bill number 23-053 by Councilmember Felker, seconded by Councilmember Edson. Discussion. Yes, Councilmember Edson.
Thank you, Mayor. I see Mr. Marsh has come down, and I just wanted to see if he had any comments on this before we voted for it, maybe just a little background.
Or maybe he just wants kudos for getting a grant.
Well, and we can give those to him. Mr. Marsh, do you have any comments about this?
I'm probably all red for the camera.
Yes, you are. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Steve March, Chief Technology Officer. First, I'd like to thank Councilmember DeMoro for allowing us to bring this directly to council, and thank you, Mayor, for a late addition to the council agenda. The timeframe on getting this approved and back to the state is a pretty tight timeline. We have until the 21st. So this was a grant that it came through as a pass-through from the federal government with the infrastructure bill that was passed. They see cybersecurity as a portion of critical infrastructure. The city submitted 3 separate grant applications through that, and this is one of them that we were able to get funding for. There's a 10% match that we have already identified the funding in our existing budget without having to make any changes to the previously adopted budget.
Mayor?
Yes.
I'd like to offer kudos to all staff involved in this grant.
Second. Yep. No, well done. Thank you, sir. We should have a face-off between Assistant City Manager Lake and department head, Marsh, to see who gets redder when they get a little embarrassed. I think she's got you beat. Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, please cast your vote. All votes are in, please record the vote. Passes 8-0. Thank you. This next item, we're going to continue this to March 14th. Do I need a motion on that, Mr. Head? Someone, please. Councilmember Felker?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
We say to March 14th?
Yes, please.
Mayor, I'd like to move that Bill number 23-049, an ordinance approving development agreement between Blackwell 55 LLC, Reserve at Blackwell LLC, Residence at Blackwell LLC, 120 LLC, and the City of Lee Summit, Missouri, for the Blackwell mixed-use development be moved to our calendar for March 14th.
Okay. I have a motion to continue to March 14th by Councilmember Felker, seconded by Councilmember Edson. Discussion? Seeing none, please cast your vote. All votes are in. Please record the vote. And it passes 8-0. Thank you all. Thank you, Councilmember Felker. Committee reports. Yes, Councilmember Shields.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to mention that we'll have a Legislative and Intergovernmental Relations Committee meeting Monday, the 13th at 11:30 via Zoom.
Can't wait. So excited about it. Get to talk about our representatives and senators and how we can lobby them.
And Mayor, I don't know, maybe council comments is a better time, but if you want to talk at all about the recent visit to the Capitol, I don't know if you were able to talk about that last meeting or?
Yeah, I did last time.
Okay. I was out of town, so. No, it's all right.
It's on TV, though. It's recorded.
That's very fair.
I did a good job.
I'll be watching next.
Councilmember Edson.
Thank you, Mayor. We have CEDC tomorrow at 5 here, and we will be having the public hearings for the CDBG funding.
I always have a hard time saying CDBG. Yep. Community Development Block Grants. Councilmember DeMoro.
Thank you, Mayor. We had, in these chambers, we had a Finance and Budget Committee meeting last evening. And that's just, we're still working through the budget process, preliminary projections and discussions, and, letting the cat out of the bag. Our year-to-date tax revenue projections are up almost 9%. Just let the cat out of the bag. We're doing well, and we will continue discussions going forward with the budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Felker.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works Committee is scheduled to meet next Monday at 5 p.m. here in Chambers. And then we actually have the Rules Committee scheduled for the 16th at 11:30. I don't know that we have anything on the agenda. I'm getting a shake from Brian, and I don't have anything that's pressing me. So it's likely that will be canceled, but we'll confer and send that out by email later. Thank you.
Thank you. Council comments. I heard about the cleaning up on the, where was it, 470? Yeah, and then I thought for the citizens, the council was given talking points about litter control. It's quite an in-depth analysis of all the things that we have going on. Explaining, who's responsible, and then what programs we have that exist, and what other programs there are out there, and it's really a pretty in-depth, summary of probably what's on our website at this point. Is this all on our website now, Mr. Dunning?
Thank you, Mayor. It's not on the website yet. Wanted to get that information to you all, knowing that each of you are routinely receiving inquiries about litter control. But that will be part of our efforts to prop up the resources on our website through our Clean Team initiative and put that out there for the public as well.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting this on the website so we can start just passing a link to people. This is a little wordy text-wise. We need some photos and things like that on the website, but I'm sure you'll take care of that.
Yeah, it'll look different on the website. Those are more just for back pocket, you know, as you receive inquiries. And if you wanted, we could provide more copies that you could help distribute as well. So just good general information about kind of MoDOT's responsibilities, the cities, and where to go for some resources and opportunities if we want to get involved.
Okay, and then we'll probably be bringing this up again, some opportunities, because this is kind of the time of year that you see cleanups. So just be aware that we'll probably be promoting a few, at least one or two over the next 45 days or whatever, 30, 45 days, because the weather gets nice enough that we can get out, people can get out, plus people are kind of itching to help us, so. All right, Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Mayor, if I could ask just briefly, Mark, will there be any kind of, I mean, I know this is going on our website, but will there be any other kind of outreach or marketing, social media kind of campaigns?
Yes, we're in the works to create that awareness of different resources, call it a landing page, right, with resources that connect to MoDOT programs as well as our city programs. Mayor mentioned some efforts underway for kind of a collective cleanup here targeting the middle of April. I'll just say April 15th. So working with folks, Councilmember Adds and I heard you mention Mr. Phil, reaching out to those folks too, because they know people, right? And so really creating awareness of an opportunity that the city could help with those passionate citizens to really, hopefully, I always like to say, put more muscle behind this effort and make more progress than those that are already doing this. So yes, that's our plan of attack, is to continue to reach out and connect folks and kind of be that resource for the community so that we can all make an effort, and if we can, and change how Lee Summit looks, really.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, staff roundtable, Mr. Dunning.
Y'all hit on all the points I had. Thank you for, wanted to make sure you got the talking points and our efforts underway for that.
One thing we could do to help with litter control is if you could do something about that landfill that they're talking about on 150 and make sure that those Packer trucks don't go flying down the road with litter flying out of the back of it. And there's all kinds of other litter that comes with that too, like smells and.
There is, and
sites, litter sites, just visually, so. Anyway.
A lot of collective efforts going on, Mayor, and I know how much time you're putting in on that as well.
Yep. EDC passed a resolution in support of opposition of the landfill today, so that was nice. Well, we don't get to adjourn. We got one other item of business, but we need to do it in closed session. Councilmember DeMauro, would you please?
Yes, sir. Pursuant to section 610.021 of the revised statutes of the state of Missouri pertaining to individually identifiable personal records, performance ratings, or records pertaining to employees or applicants for employment, I move for closed session.
Thank you. I have a motion to move into, to
Second.
go into closed session by Councilmember DeMauro, seconded by Councilmember Shields. Discussion? Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember DeMauro?
Aye.
Councilmember Shields?
Aye.
Aye.
Member Hodges?
Aye.
Councilmember Lovell?
Aye.
Councilmember Felker?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez?
Aye.
Mayor Baird?
Aye. Thank you all. We're going into closed session at 6:37.